Now that we know how to build games, and I really hope that you already have ideas for your own games that you're going to develop after this course, it is now time to look at how we can submit those apps to the App Store so that people are finally able to play our amazing games. This process is sometimes a bit problematic because from personal experience, I know how exhausting it can be to develop your own game. It takes months, and once it's done, you just want to submit it as fast as possible. But you shouldn't be too careless when submitting your app, because this part is incredibly important. If we mess up our submission, chances are that our app won't be that successful. Because let's face it, first impressions do matter. Which is why we want to take this chapter to guide you through the entire process of submitting your app, and therefore we are going to submit an app ourselves to really be able to show you all of the process and allow you to follow this guide step by step. But before we get to that, I want to take some time to make sure that the following things apply to your app before you continue. Do you have your app icon ready, as well as your screenshots? We have added a link to all of the required dimensions in the resources, if you want to make sure. The next question is, did you properly test your app? Did you test it on more than one device? If your app is available for iPhone and iPad, did you make sure that it looks great and works well in both dimensions? The problem is that when you only test your app on the simulator, it can sometimes be difficult to notice issues that might be a problem when using a device, such as memory or user input. But if you are certain that your app runs well on all devices, you are all set. There are certain other factors that you should keep in mind though. Obviously, your app shouldn't crash. You shouldn't be able to use the camera, the microphone, or access any data on the device without the user's permission. You should also only use artwork that you are either the creator of or you are explicitly permitted to use it in your app. If you have any financial transactions within your app, you should solely use in-app purchases to do so. I won't go into much detail about how you can optimize your app listing in this chapter. That's what the chapter about App Store optimization is for. And I highly recommend that if you haven't already, you watch this chapter before submitting your app.